Hi and welcome to Ball Masters Football. Here we are with another video. We'll be reacting to the Premier League results, game week 5. The first game we're going to be talking about today is the Palace-Brentford game. So I thought, again, it was a 1-1 draw. However, I thought overall, Zaha's goal was fantastic. Taking nothing away from him, but it was a great goal. I thought they were lucky to get the point, to be fair, Palace. I thought Brentford deserved the win. And I think even Vieira said they were lucky to get a point. And yeah, I just thought Brentford were just wanted it more. I think they just kept going. And I think that's a sign of a good team. It's just when they just keep going, they don't know when they're beaten. And again, coming from coming from a goal down to get the equaliser, and then want to try and probe and push to try and see if you can get the second. I think that's great testament to the coach and the team that he's building. So, great credit to them both. I think they'll be more frustrated. Brentford will be more frustrated than Palace because I think they should have won it. I thought they created a lot of chances towards the end to get the win, but unfortunately we weren't clinical enough to get the 3 points. Next fixture is Fulham-Brighton. I thought that was a fantastic game. Very enjoyable game to watch. Fulham winning 2-1. I think Mitrovic for me is. I think the way he's starting at this present moment in time, for me personally, is an absolute pleasure, and I think it just goes to show for any young kid out there that it's not worked out for him. Obviously, when he first came to the Premier League, and he's obviously come back for a second time, and again he's already done better than his whole season in the Premier League in his first season. So I think it just goes to show that the progress that he's made. I think he looks healthy in terms of, he looks fit, he looks ready to go, compared to when he maybe have started the first time. He's maybe inexperienced. So I think he just seems more of a complete striker now, where that's really, pushing, forcing mistakes from defenders and being a presence up top. So I think he spearheaded that game. Definitely was a vocal point for Fulham. I thought there was 2 players that followed him equally, who were, I hope I get these 2 names right, which is Cabano and Pereira. I thought there were 2 excellent players, particularly Pereira. I thought he was fantastic in these 5 games that he's played for Fulham. I think for Brighton, I think it's an opportunity missed to go top, even if it was for a brief moment of time. I think it was an opportunity for them to, push or maybe a reward for their great start that they've made to the season. I think they started off slow. And I think if you start off slow, especially against Fulham at Craven Cottage, you're going to get in trouble. And I thought that, they started off slow in the second half. And again, I just feel that Fulham, deserved the 3 points overall. So I'm quite pleased for Marco Silva and his team. The second game is Southampton-Chelsea. Now, there was a very, very big surprise for me. Southampton winning the game 2-1. I was really, really impressed in the way that they played. The heart they had, the energy that they were playing with against Chelsea, and I think it was quite a surprise that after they scored the first goal, Ethic just kind of went backwards, where instead of them going forwards and trying to see if they can get the second goal, Southampton got the equaliser, and then it's like their heads just dropped, or they just became unorganised a little bit. And from there, the floodgates, I shouldn't even say that, but in terms of the indiscipline and, players allowing players to run past them at will, that's not really a Chelsea side that I know of, from the days of the Abramovich era, where they was very hard, very tough. I was quite surprised when Tuchel said, that he feels that his players are soft. So I was a bit surprised with those sort of comments, which we'll talk about in the top 6 show in more in depth. I think they've got a Banyang, which is good. So I think he's a good addition. will score goals. Cucurella, I think on the left, crossing balls in. I think Reece James crossing balls in on the right. I think Aubameyang will get a lot of service, and I think he'll get a lot of goals for Chelsea. I don't think he'll be a flop. But again, being a former Arsenal fan, I know how clinical he can be. So, just make sure that he's not as clinical when they play us. But yeah, I think overall, Southampton deserved the win and they got the win, so I'm really pleased for them. Moving on to the next game, it's Leeds v Everton. So again, it was a 1-1 draw. I think if I was Leeds, I'd be more annoyed or frustrated because of the fact that I think that Everton were there for the taking. I thought Leeds should have won the game. I just felt at times Everton, obviously again I'm not going to say they were time wasting, but because obviously the stats are saying something different. However, you could see that there was only one team to me that were out there that was trying to win the game. I think they were happy with the point possibly, and then move on to the next game. I thought Iwobi and Demarai Gray were great for Everton, as well as Anthony Gordon was fantastic as well, as always. I've been really impressed with him since he's started, and I wanted to say that I'm really pleased with his attitude, considering a player like him that's getting the potential transfer move to Chelsea. While that's all going on, it hasn't distracted him or made him turn his head to a point where he doesn't want to play. He's playing, he's giving his all, and he's scoring goals for Everton, and I think that's a lovely attitude to have. Whether it materialises or not, the transfer to Chelsea, he's still giving his best for Everton, and I think that's a great credit to him and to the club as well. So he's a good player. So again, I really hope that he continues to do well and he has a great career because he's a good player. Next fixture is Arsenal-Aston Villa. There's two players that stood out for me for the Arsenal game, and those two, obviously the obvious one is Lokonga. I think coming in for the absence of Partey and El Nani, I thought he gave a good credit of himself. I thought he turned up, and I think for someone that is not been involved with the first team or played as much, has come in and just steadied the ship, had a decent game, didn't do anything overcomplicated, had a solid game, and I think that's all we can ask from you. Saka, I think he had a really good game as well. Another player who for me I was very impressed with and of late is Martinelli. I felt that he was again 3 goals in 5 games. Really impressed with the way he took his goal, even though it was coming in quite awkwardly, kind of bounced up in front of him, and he's able to get on the end of it, and it's kind of looped over Martinez and into the back of the net, which again puts us with 15 points in 5 games. So really pleased with that achievement from Arsenal. The only positive I'll say for Aston Villa is that they did a lot better than they did in the last game against, I believe, West Ham, I think it was. I think with Buendia and Bailey coming in to change things up, I think they just pose a problem for Arsenal, especially in the second half as well. So I think for me, there's a lot of positives. The only downside is they've got Man City next. So again, that's going to be a big issue, a big problem for them to solve. So again, maybe they could stop them, be the team that stops Man City. But yeah, again, for me, there's a lot of, as I said before, confidence issues and problems of scoring goals and being clinical in front of goal. I think is Aston Villa's problem. I think defensively as well, you could maybe say it's a bit shaky, but I think for me, their lack of scoring goals, and I think with the players that they've got, they should be scoring a lot more goals than they are currently. So I think that is an issue that they need to address. I think Gerrard's looking at it as well. Imagine he's looking at it and he's coaching team. So, let's really look closely. Maybe it might all click against City. Who knows? So let's watch that space. The next fixture is Bournemouth Wolves. Again, a bit of a dry game. In all honesty, I think the positives that I would say for Bournemouth is that they kept a clean sheet. They kept a clean sheet and they were able to improve on their defensive efforts. Again, after conceding 9 goals and then being able to then keep a clean sheet, it shows me that the coaches have looked at that area of not conceding goals, and I think that's a great confidence boost to the players to think, you know what, let's see if we can improve it and then see if we can work our way up, because I thought their first game was against Aston Villa. I thought they were great, but again, as you know, fixtures can be and obviously it can be unkind in terms of who you play next, and sometimes all it takes is you to lose a game heavily, and then next thing you know, you've got the next game which is even harder and another difficult game. So you know, I think it would have evened itself out. That's why I still feel that they should have gave Scotty Parker more time. I think he earned that, especially promoting Bournemouth up to the Premier League. I think he should have deserved more time than just 4 games. So, yeah. With Wolves, on the other hand, I think again they dominated the game. I did like. I've said previously, I like the way that they create chances. The only snag I have is that they're not clinical enough in front of goal. That's my issue. That's my opinion. I just feel that they're not clinical in front of goal, and I think because of that is why they're still in a winless run at the minute. So I think once it clicks and they become clinical in front of goal, I think that's when you see them start winning games and see them climb up the ladder of the Premier League table. But I just think for now they're in a little bit of a snag at the minute. So I just feel that once they get that goal, they'll be all good to go. So I would say for any Wolves fans out there or anyone watching, I wouldn't be too worried. I wouldn't be calling for the coach's head or anything like that. It will come. Let them continue to create chances, and it's only a matter of time before it clicks. Man City, talking about clicking, they are really, really clicking. Man City, Forest. Howland, goal machine, 9 goals, 5 games. What a start. And I think, to be honest, I know I've been saying about it on the previous shows, but those 2 balls what Foden could have squared to Haaland, that could have been 11 in 5s. But nonetheless, he's got his back-to-back hat-tricks, which again is a very, very impressive achievement, you know, and I think it's only going to get better. So considering his next games against Aston Villa, I can only see more goals being scored. So again, you know, the other 2 players who I was impressed with is Alvarez and Cancelo. I thought they were really good. I loved Cancelo's long-range shot. That went like a rocket. I love Alvarez's 2 finishes. Really like them. I thought they were very, very, very neat, tidy finishes, clinical finishes. And I think that's only going to help the squad score more goals. I think what I did notice was that it looked like Pep was playing a 4-4-2. So I think he's trying to accommodate Alvarez and Haaland and seeing how well they could work together up top because of the quality they have at their disposal. So, you know, I could see him maybe playing that game more maybe at the Etihad, or maybe against teams that he may be able to have the opportunity to have only 2 in the middle of the park against some weaker teams, possibly where he can maybe afford to have only 2 in the middle. But yeah, nonetheless, very good team. I think they're going to be hard to beat, to be honest with you. I don't know who's going to stop them. Maybe Aston Villa could. But, you know, yeah, I think it's going to be quite a tough task to beat them. But I think whoever does, they're going to have a brilliant game. On to our next fixture. We've got West Ham Spurs. Now, I did say, in my opinion, I thought West Ham edged it. I think they've edged it in terms of creating chances towards the end. You know, Mikel Antonio, who had a great game, he hit the post. I thought towards the end, balls, I think the cross, that all it needed was a tap for it to go into the back of the net. And there were some other chances where players were getting each other's way. So there was a lot of opportunities for West Ham to get the 3 points. I was a little bit disappointed in the way Tottenham played, especially knowing how Conte wants his team to play with high intensity. I think it was another game where I thought that they were a little bit short of that. And I just feel it's something that needs addressing urgently, because I think they haven't really started on the front foot yet, I don't think, in any of the 5 games. So I think it's something that they need to... Tell a lie. I think it was the Southampton game, where they really took it to him and they won the game. I think it won it quite comfortably, the opening game of the season. But I think they need to have more starts like that. I think if they're going to have any chance of, going into potentially win any title or any trophy or even top 4. I think West Ham scored a great goal with Zucek. I hope I said his name correctly. But I think the problem for Tottenham is just their lack of intensity in their games in terms of from the off. I thought, again, they were lucky to get a point. So I think if I was David Moyes, I'd be a little bit disappointed, because I thought that they were there for the taking. Moving on to the next game. Liverpool-Newcastle. I thought Henderson had a great game. Harvey Elliott had a great game as well, Fabinho in that midfield. I quite liked Salah. Salah looks really good. I was very impressed with Diaz. Again, there's a threat all game. I think now Firmino as well. Obviously, he got the equaliser. But I just feel that Liverpool are a team that never know when they're beaten at Anfield. And I feel that if you're 1-0 up against Liverpool and you're playing towards extra time or going into extra time 1-0 up, your level of concentration needs to be high, because the minute your head is switched off, that's when they will pounce and they will get the goal. And I just feel that that's what happened. I think they just switched off. Liverpool were just there and they got the goal. I quite liked Newcastle signing. What's his name? Sorry, Isak. I thought they were a bit disheartened towards... I think Newcastle could feel a bit disheartened not to get a point at least. Because I thought they deserved it. I thought they created chances as well. I thought Joe Willock was very good in that midfield. I think it's another solid game from him. I think he's been quite impressive of late. I think this season so far. But I do like the look of the new striker, the new signing that they have. I think he'll score a lot of goals. I thought he was quite clinical. I thought the one where he was slightly offside, I thought he took that goal quite well. I thought he sent the 2 defenders and smashed it past the keeper. I thought that if that went in, I think that could have been easily goal contender for goal of the month for me. I thought he took the first goal very well, very clinical, and I think he will be a vocal point. I think him, Callum Wilson, again, no St. Maximan yesterday, but I think with him as well, I think Newcastle are going to be definitely a threat this season. In terms of Liverpool going forward, again, I think there's another goal where they've conceded first. So I think it's something that Klopp needs to look at and try and address that. Will it improve? I very much doubt that it's going to continue. I think he will definitely get him solid, get him playing. I know Liverpool are a solid side, and I know that Klopp will, being a fantastic manager that he is, will get them playing hard to beat and going forward with the attacking sharpness that they have. In terms of obviously the Leicester-Manchester United game, because that game's playing tonight, we will do a little review on that in the top 6. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about that in the top 6 that we'll upload tomorrow. So I think for me that will be all. Again, thank you for watching. Again, if you're a new viewer, please do like, comment and subscribe, and I look forward to uploading more videos for you guys to watch. Take care now. Bye.